Hi people, it's 20 to 7 in the evening on Sunday the 12th of October 2014. It's one of those crazy Mercury retrograde days again. For all of my bravado yesterday saying that Mercury retrograde doesn't affect astrologers, I've not been able to send out voice files, I've not been able to access my YouTube account. Did a thorough virus check and found quite a few nasties. Still can't get onto YouTube, but that's making me think perhaps the time has come, finally, to embrace this new thing called Mac. Perhaps, we shall see. I'm looking at Pluto. Pluto's been heavily involved in this last few days with the eclipse, and there's a couple of times in the near future where Pluto's having its last swipes at things and people. But it does seem that over the coming year or so, Pluto's influence is going to diminish, unlike that of Uranus. There's a number of eclipses in the coming year which are going to be affecting Uranus, and even as the eclipse season dies out around Uranus in a year and a half's time, it's still not going to go quietly. So there's still quite a degree of changes coming in. The big thing that everyone's looking at, I suppose, in the immediate short term is this thing around Ebola. In a number of the lectures that I give, when I'm talking about the potentials for the future, I'm talking about the need for humanity to not so much change its ways, but to adapt to ever-changing circumstances. And one of the risks of not doing this, of course, is pandemic. Astrologically, yes, there is indication over the coming times of that type of phenomena. However, I don't feel it is being imminent, although events of the coming 1 month may seemingly prove me wrong in the short term, but I do think it's going to sort of not fade away, but sit below the horizon for a bit until we're into March, April, May of next year, and probably until this time next year. It's not going away. It's not going away. Adds to this, of course, that we've got a Mercury retrograde going on, and a lot of people are telling me the same. Things aren't working. Relationships are breaking down. Technology's completely screwing up. To which I can only say, don't even think about getting it fixed at the moment. With Mercury retrograde and standing still opposite Uranus in about a week's time, for a good week and a half, there's going to be quite a degree of fusion, and I do expect a number of electrical retail companies to probably go out of business very suddenly. Add to this that right now there's a lovely moon in the middle of Gemini, just about to oppose Mars, but it's also trining the Sun and the Node and Venus, and it's sextiling Uranus. And it does seem that this next few hours even is generally a very fortuitous and fortunate time. There won't be a void moon, or at least one not of length, because of a late trine to Mercury. Overall, this period that we're in right now, in the middle of October 2014, yeah, it's happening. And it's happening in a way that's very uncertain and confusing and irritating. And a lot of people are getting angry for no apparent reason, it seems. That's the problem with Mercury retrograde. It hits that kind of unconscious stuff in yourself where you can sense that something's not right, but you can't put your finger on it, okay? And the sensible people will just sort of growl at themselves, and they'll go away and they'll scrub the kitchen walls, or they'll go and dig the garden. The unsensible ones will go and buy lots of new technology and make big travel plans and silly things like that. Not good, especially at this time for Mercury retrograde, especially with the Sun coming up to hit the Mercury retrograde over the coming 2 or 3 days. There is no sense, literally, there is no common sense at the moment. We're seeing political figures falling over themselves. We're seeing the complete disenfranchisement of almost all political figures in the world now from their people. How many politicians, regardless of what country you're in, but how many of the leading politicians in your respective country have ever had a job, have ever worked at the coalface, have ever been on the shop floor, have ever done physical labour? Fewer and fewer. So, you know, again, seems, especially with the aftershock of Pluto in Capricorn, Politicians are becoming increasingly redundant. We shall see. Tomorrow's a new day. Tomorrow the moon's in late Gemini and early Cancer, and I think there's going to be a lot more action around. So I shall be hitting the ground running first thing in the morning, and I suggest you guys do too. Till then, have a good night. Take care. Bye.